Alright, so moving on to the final segment, I will be sharing my game predictions for the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship heading into this weekend's games. These will be my game predictions. So, divisional round, I went 2-2 divisional round weekend. I got the Kansas City Chiefs and Jacksonville Jaguars game correct. I just didn't think that Jacksonville was good enough to have a shootout with Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes and company. That definitely didn't happen in that game. So I got that game right. Next, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Giants game. I got the Eagles game right. I just didn't think that the Giants had the right tools, or the right roster, the right repertoire, offensively or defensively, to hang around with the Philadelphia Eagles. We saw the Eagles win in dominating fashion. Then I got the Sunday games wrong. I did believe that the Buffalo Bills would knock off the Cincinnati Bengals, and I did believe that the Dallas Cowboys would knock off the San Francisco 49ers. So I went 2-2 divisional round weekend. Let's see what I do this weekend in the conference championship game. So let's talk about the NFC Championship game. This will be the first game that we'll see first on Sunday. We're going to see the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed in the NFC. That's the matchup we're going to get in the NFC Championship game. And this is going to be a really good game. Both teams are evenly matched roster-wise, top to bottom. Eagles had the only advantage when you talk about, and I actually give it, there's actually more than that. But defensive line is good. Offensive lines are good. Skill position players are good. Running back obviously goes to the 49ers because they have Christian McCaffrey. The advantages, though, that the Eagles have over the San Francisco 49ers is that quarterback. Jalen Hurts, a guy that I said that was pretty bad in his NFL career, has really shocked me this year. He's played up to par. He's up there with the elite guys now. Jalen Hurts, they have an advantage at the quarterback position over Brock Purdy. But the 49ers have the head coaching advantage when you talk about Kyle Shanahan compared to Nick Sirianni. But other than those factors, it's as close as you can get roster-wise. They're both stacked top to bottom. I think they both have the best remaining rosters in the tournament, in the playoffs as we speak today. The reasons why both teams were successful last week was Eagles with their offense, which I'll get to, which definitely deserves some credit. They won that game 38-7. Offense did not miss a beat from the starting whistle all the way to the final whistle. But the reason why both of these teams advanced to the conference championship game is because of how good they both look defensively. You look at what the 49ers did to the Dallas Cowboys offense, particularly what they did to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott looked clueless out there, and they held him to only 206 passing yards and 2 interceptions, the 2 takeaways that the defensive got. And they also held that Dallas Cowboys offense, the running game, to only 76 yards rushing in that game. That's how good the San Francisco 49ers defense was in that game. And then you look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did defensively Saturday night against the New York Giants. They held Daniel Jones to only 135 passing yards. And the defensive line was getting busy. The pass rush was having a night to remember. They had 5 sacks against the New York Giants in that ball game. This is going to be a really, really, really entertaining, good fundamental football game. I have the Philadelphia Eagles winning. The reasons why I have them winning is they're playing at home. It's going to be rocking in Philadelphia. NFC Championship on the line with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. You know how Philly is going to be acting there. It's going to be a crazy, hostile environment to win in. I don't think that Brock Purdy can do it. They have the advantage on offense with their skill group. When you talk about their skill group, compare, I said running back, they got it. But when you look at Devontae Adams and Devontae Smith and AJ Brown at the receiver position compared to Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, they got the advantage there. Tight end, I think George Kittle is the better guy at the skill position, but Dallas Goedert is going to be getting more busy, making more plays, I believe, in that football game. Their offensive line will be matching up against the 49ers defensive line. This offensive line is better than the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. They're the best offensive line in football, the Philadelphia Eagles. They have it. The San Francisco 49ers weren't really making many plays defensively on the pass rush. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, Nick Bosa was nowhere to be found in that game against the Dallas Cowboys. If the Dallas Cowboys contained Nick Bosa, imagine what the best offensive line in football, the Philadelphia Eagles, what they can do containing him and that pass rush in this game. I think they're going to do that as well. I believe the defensive line will contain the running game, whether San Francisco wants to run the ball with Christian McCaffrey, whether it's Elijah Mitchell, or whether they even want to give Deebo Samuel some reps running the ball. I think the defensive line is going to do a great job containing the run, forcing Brock Purdy to beat them. I don't think Brock Purdy's there just yet. Brock Purdy deserves a lot of credit. He was the 7th best quarterback that I trusted in the tournament heading into the tournament. I got laughed at about it, but he's in a conference championship game. He didn't play good. He played good enough to help them win that game last week against the Dallas Cowboys. Did he have a amazing performance like he did in Wild Card Weekend against the Seahawks? No, but he did good enough. But I don't think he can single-handedly beat that Philadelphia Eagles secondary. I don't think he can physically beat that Philadelphia Eagles defense by himself, because that's what's going to take. They're going to have to force Brock Purdy to beat him. I think the Philadelphia Eagles punched their ticket to the Super Bowl, becoming the NFC champions. Then you look at the AFC Championship game, where we have an AFC Championship rematch when you have the number 1 seeded Kansas City Chiefs playing at home against the 3rd seeded Cincinnati Bengals. I think the X factor in this game is already written on the wall. It's the fact that Patrick Mahomes is going to be playing in this game with a high sprained ankle. The good news is he did get an extra day rest compared to the Cincinnati Bengals, so he got an extra day to rest his ankle. I don't think he's going to be very active in practice heading into the game. He's most likely going to sit out during practices. I think they're going to give Chad Henne the first team reps all week long, just in case if Patrick Mahomes goes in that game and God forbid gets hurt again or cannot continue in that game. Chad Henne will be ready to go. But I think the Kansas City Chiefs are coming into this game with a collective win in the divisional round against the Jacksonville Jaguars. When that injury happened early in the game, Patrick Mahomes he gave it his all, and somehow, some way, still helped them to win that game. Basically, on one foot, on one leg, helped the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in that game. But what I noticed when that happened was we finally seen the Kansas City Chiefs get off the back of Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, whether you like it or not, has been carrying that Kansas City Chiefs team all year long. And they realized that, hey, he got us here. Let's see what we could do as a collective team. And I've seen the whole entire team step up. When Patrick Mahomes was in the locker room, backup quarterback Chad Henne went down the field and had a 98 passing yard touch. A 98-yard drive to set up a passing touchdown in the red zone to Travis Kelce. Helped them get down the field, put up 7 points. Defense played very well as well against Trevor Lawrence and company. That was a collective team win. Oh, and I should mention the running game was there with Jerick McKinnon and Isaiah Pacheco at the running back position. The running game was going against Jacksonville as well. So that was a good collective team win that they had in Kansas City against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Everyone stepped up. But the thing that worries me the most in this matchup is Joe Burrow has the number of Patrick Mahomes. He's the only starting quarterback in the National Football League today that has a winning record against Patrick Mahomes. He has beaten Patrick Mahomes not once, not twice, but 3 times in the last 2 seasons. One of them last year in the AFC Championship game. It's not looking good. Joe Burrow has that man's number. And you're talking about a Cincinnati Bengals defense that's playing with a lot of confidence after they just went on the road, made Josh Allen and that Bills offense look ordinary. They're ready. Eli Apple is back to running his mouth. Their boys are going to be ready. And the thing is, with the Kansas City Chiefs defense over these 3 matchups that they've seen Joe Burrow, they don't have an answer for him, and they still don't have an answer for Jamar Chase. And those 3 meetings that Jamar Chase has seen the Kansas City Chiefs defense, in 3 games, Jamar Chase has combined 25 catches, 460 yards, and 3 passing touchdowns. So everybody, though Joe Burrow and his right-hand man, Jamar Chase, has the number of this Kansas City Chiefs team. Bengals defense will be looking to have another statement, and it's not good because Patrick Mahomes is going to be playing with a high sprained ankle. We know Patrick Mahomes gets the baby goat label for several reasons. One, because he's a winner. Another reason why is because he makes the plays that most quarterbacks can't. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks that I ever laid my eyes on. He makes plays out of the pocket that no other quarterback in this league can make. But guess what? He's not going to be able to roll out in the pocket and make extremely good throws that we're accustomed to seeing him do because he's playing with a high ankle sprain. We see he could barely plant his foot to drop back and throw the ball in that game against the Jacksonville Jaguars when he came back in the game. That ankle is going to be the X factor in this game. And if you don't have Patrick Mahomes doing the things that he can do, making extraordinary plays out of the pocket, making plays with his legs if he has to, scrambling out of danger, it's not going to look good. And the Kansas City Chiefs team cannot beat the Bengals running the ball down their throat. They're just not that team. They're not built to be that team. They've never been built to be that team with Patrick Mahomes ever since he's been there. So with that being said, I think Joe Burrow is going to extend his playoff record. He's already 3-0 on the road in the playoffs. I think he's going to extend his 3-0 record going on to 4-0. I think he's going to extend his record against Patrick Mahomes to 4-0 as well. I have the Cincinnati Bengals punching their ticket, getting back to the Super Bowl, and repeating as AFC champions, setting up for a monumental matchup between the Bengals and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I have my fingers crossed for that one. That's something I definitely want to see in the Super Bowl. I think that's going to be the matchup that we get this year. So those are my AFC and NFC Championship Conference game predictions. That's all the time I have for you guys today. Of course, as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.